Hi, my name is Daniel, and this is Engelgeist, my channel. Sorry, my camera's not quite adjusted right. Thank you for tuning in. This is my channel, Engelgeist. I just said that. These are the November predictives for the sign of Taurus. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign of Taurus, or if love shows up in this reading, if you have the Venus, if your Venus is in Taurus, then you might want to watch this. If you're in love with a Taurus and you want to cross stalk them, go right ahead and watch this too, to see what's going on with them maybe in the month of November. So let's get into shuffling the cards. So what's up for my sexy Taurians, my earthy loving bully bulls, my dedicated yet sometimes stubborn, wonderful, slow moving, opinionated, lovely, earthy mofos that y'all are. If you guys are on Instagram, these are the ways that you can support me and my channel. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your other Taurian friends or anybody else with any other sign that you know that might like my channel to please tune in and check out their signs. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at Engelgeist333. I'm really new to it, so I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But please follow me there. I do a daily forecast here on the YouTube channel. I have a Facebook group. I do live charmings both Wednesday and Friday nights. If you've never had a charm reading, you haven't lived until you've had a charm reading. You can check those videos out on the channel to see what they're about, or get one live on Wednesday or Friday night. It's like, I'm the girl in the box, as they say. So, yeah, so there's all of that available to you and more. Hit the bell if you do subscribe, because that will alert you when I'm on live in the mornings and in the evenings, so that if you ever want to interact with me, you certainly can. I love me some deep Taurus energy. I'm a Pisces myself, so I get along with Taurians really well, and I find them to be incredibly charismatic and sexy. So if you ever want to talk to me live, hit the subscribe button and chat me up. Chat a bitch up. Chat my bitch up. Okay, anyways, so let's move on to what does Taurus have in store for them, Spirit, for the month of November 2019. Sun, moon, rising, and possibly some Venus. Let's get a little Venus in here. See what's going on for the Taurians. That's hot-blooded bull energy. Okay, the cards feel like they're shuffling well. Like I don't feel any major resistance and stuff, which is promising. This first card is the sort of overall theme, or where you're going to be centered around the month of November. And you guys tend to like to be centered, being the Taurians that you are. This is not a bad card. I don't say in a bad way. I say that this is to me, the minute I flip this card over, it's the time-space card. It's part of the major arcana, so it has a fair significance to it, just in the energy. The major arcana, is my belief, and the way that I sort of interpret them or read them, is that they kind of pack a little bit extra, bit of a lesson, a little bit extra punch, let's say, right? And so when I'm looking at this, this is time-space. This is one of the more esoteric cards of the deck, I feel like, or the more out there, like wide-thinking, broad-spectrum cards. When I look at this, it's a very spiritual card, but it feels like about, to me, the minute I flip this over, it feels like decisions are sort of going to be being made during the month of December. November for you guys. That might lead into December and the year beyond, right? In 2020. It feels to me here that we're kind of like, my Taurian people might be unclear and need to take some time in the month of November to sort of sort that stuff out, and you will be returning to this feeling of unsure. And I have a feeling what I'm hearing is sort of like, this is not natural for you guys. You guys are usually easy to sort of make a clear-cut decision and move in that direction and just sort of, move ahead, right? This to me feels like pause needs to be taken, time, space needs to be taken, reflection needs to happen. And it's not that you guys don't reflect at times, but to me, this feels like this is more significant. This is around bigger deals. This could be around, decisions of where to live, who to date, where to be, in your life, which fork in the road do we want to take, realizing that right now everything that we're doing now will sort of come back to us later. You know, the seeds that we plant now will fruit in our lives later. And I think that there's a definite awareness of that during this time or this month of November, because there's going to be some fair decisions that will be up for being made in the month of November, okay? And you guys are going to be reflecting a lot, probably looking back at the past year and the decisions that have been made and how you've gotten to where you're at and where you want to go next, right? But the one good thing that I love about the earth signs is that you guys know how to get where you want to go on all the, each of the earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. You guys are all pretty capable of getting where you need to go. So this, to me, though, I do feel like I have to say this, I'm feeling a little bit of discomfort in the sense that this is not, I'm going to say this is not your normal go-to nature, okay? This is not normal decision making. This is a little bit more ungrounded than you're used to feeling. So if some of my Taurians feel a little bit more ungrounded in the month of November and a little bit unsure of the decision that they need to make, that's okay. That's what this card is telling me. It's telling me that it might seem a little bit harder to make those decisions, but, and also I'm going to say this, that the decisions may have a larger impact, and that's maybe why there's hesitancy, or you being hesitant about making the decision, okay? Because this is major arcana, or at least that's what I'm hearing. So just take the time to reflect in the month of November. There's no rush, and I don't see Taurians as people that rush necessarily into things, but I do sort of feel like when you guys make a decision and you've stuck to it, you can be very, on it and loyal to it. This to me feels like you may not be quick to make the decision right away. Now the next card is sort of the recent past, or the foundation. It kind of tells me a bit about why the cards are the way that they are leading up to this month of November. So this is the Balance card. Interesting. This is another major arcana. So it says to me that you guys maybe have been having some significant time lately, or the decisions and the things that you've been dealing with have been rather significant and been bringing about lessons that maybe have been sort of impactful. Maybe for some of you, actually important decisions, right? This is about keeping everything together and feeling like stuff is maybe a little bit more at risk than you like, or maybe it doesn't feel quite as stable as you like. I'm talking about the period leading up to now. That might be the triggering of why we're at this time space card in the month of November. Is sort of reflecting back and going, okay, do I want to do another year of this? Do I want to live in this sort of relationship where it feels tenuous? Or do I want to stay in this job where I don't feel that it's secure, or that I feel like I could be removed from it, or my position become obsolete? That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting from these cards, is sort of like leading up to this, yes, we've kind of had everything balanced and under control, but there is this sort of precariousness I see with this piece here that's hanging over the diamond, that at any point in time it could sort of fall, right? And so it's this idea of how much more of this balancing act do we want to do? And I think that's where we take this time and space to reflect and kind of check in with ourselves, check in with our higher selves, get a little ungrounded and access some of that spiritual information to figure out what it is we want in the month of November, to then start enacting it in, say, the month of December and on into 2020. We are going into, and I mentioned this in the first Tarotscope for Aries, it's a significant change. We're shifting into a new decade, and it's also 2020. That's like an angel number, as far as I'm concerned. So I think that we are moving into a kind of significant year and a significant decade. And so it's really like, are we where we want to be? That's sort of the feeling that I get from all of this. Now, this next position is your spirit or soul card. This tells me what your spirit or soul is working on. And this is the Six of Cups, which is sorrow. So when I look at this card, it feels like there's some old wounds that might be needing to be healed. It feels to me like it's old sort of situations that we've been giving to much longer than we need to. And we know that. We've known that for a long time. But because you guys have that sort of strength of purpose that comes with being a Taurus, that ability to take on other people and their problems and sort of see them through. Here it really feels like we're kind of having to look at those situations. And again, like I said, similar to this balance card, it's like, is this what I really want to continue doing? Do I really want to continue giving my shine, giving my power, giving my ability away to a situation that may not be able to give back to me, even if I love that situation or the people in that situation, or if those people matter to me? Just because we stop giving to the situation doesn't necessarily mean that we don't love them or care for them, right? And I think that this is sort of the soul's lesson in the month of November, is how much do we continue to give when it's not being given back, right? And I think that that sort of is a little bit of what this reflection is here in this card, is we're going to be reflecting on where are we finding joy in our life and where are we maybe finding pressures or invalidation, and are we going to continue to plod along in giving to those situations? We can. I see that there's a possibility that we certainly can, but those situations are not necessarily bringing us it's like sort of like, how do I want to say this? We may be wasting our time or our energy and our effort on something that isn't necessarily giving back to us in the way that we deserve, okay? So I'm just, that's going to be kind of at the soul's point in the month of November, reflection on that and looking at that, and maybe the removal of that or the decisions being made around that. The next two cards, or these next two positions here, are what I call the outside influences. These are energies, beliefs, sometimes people or events that are having an outside effect on us. They can be influencing us in either positive or negative ways, but there's something we should be made aware of just for the month of November. So the first one is the Woman of Wands. This is like the Queen of Wands. And so this could be a female in our lives, a female of power. This is like the queen, like technically the Queen of Wands in other decks. This could be a woman of power for some of us. This could be like a female boss. This could be an older mother or a sister. But what I do want to say about her is I feel like she gets what she wants. She is a fiery sort of type of person. She could be like sort of an Aries, Leo, or Sag. But I feel like, it's funny, I almost feel like she's gaslighting somebody. I don't know if this is for one specific person or if this is for a lot of different people, a lot of the Taurians, but I feel like this has to do with this Sorrow card. I feel like this energy, this feminine energy, could be intense. It could be powerful. It could be a little bit on the slightly manipulative side. This energy or this person gets what she wants at like sort of all costs, if that makes sense. So I feel like if we have somebody around us like that, that could be sort of pushing us in a direction or telling us we're doing something that we need to be doing or doing it wrong, or oh no, just hold tight, you'll see this through, that sort of a thing. I'm not so sure that for me, the feelings on this card is I feel like she doesn't have the full picture or the full awareness. So be mindful of her opinions, be mindful of her suggestions, be mindful of what she says, because she has a sort of a motive or a desired outcome that she wants in all of this during the month of November for you guys. And it may not necessarily be what you want. There feels to me, when I look back at this time-space card, this balance card, and this sorrow card, I feel like the real theme here is that Taurians, you guys are going to be seeking some peace for the month of November. Like just to chill out, like bringing down of the energy and like an evening out so that you can think things through, so that you can clear your head. And this Woman of Wands, to me, it feels like she might be somebody that loves you or cares about you or is friendly towards you, but she also feels like she's sort of trying to, how do I want to put this, like inundate you with information or ideas, opinions, and sort of impose them upon you in an effort to help. But really what she's doing is she's only sort of seeing her needs getting met in the equation. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. The next card, and if you want further explanation or if you want an in-depth reading, if some of this is ringing true for some of you Taurians, please reach out to me and I can book a private reading for you. We can look at this if this is something that specifically resonates with you. This is the Six of Wands, which is trust. And I like that it's funny, you've got this Wands energy, which is this fire energy. You guys are an earth sign. You've got a lot of fire energy as the outside influences, which is fire and the element of spirit, okay? The Six of Wands is trust. To me, I feel like there's an opportunity here to trust, but I would say it's about trusting yourself and your own decisions. This is about like sort of the opportunity where we take the leap, we take the risk, we make the choice, we've done the reflection, we maybe risk falling out of balance and letting go of some of these situations that no longer work for us. And I kind of have a feeling we might piss an insignificant woman off in our life. We might upset somebody, be it a boss, a mother, a girlfriend, a wife, but somebody that, you know, she has her own set of needs and is kind of demanding about going about getting them. I feel like it could be a sister, it could be a good girlfriend, but whatever it is, I feel like her information is not correct. This trust, though, says to me that you have to trust sort of your spirit, your soul, your guidance, whatever is in your gut that's telling you that things aren't quite right. Even with this balance, like a balanced Taurus is a happy Taurus, but this balance to me, although it feels like balance, it feels risky. It feels like, I don't know, like you guys have been questioning leading up until this point. Is this really what I want? Is this really how I want it? Is this really as secure as I think it is? And I think that somewhere in your gut, you know it's not. And I mean, that's going to apply. This is a broad spectrum reading for all the Taurians that will watch this video. So this is going to apply to multiple things for multiple people. This could be relationships, this could be jobs, this could be finances, this could be health. But whatever it is that we've been trying to work on and keep balance with, our balance isn't as good within the situation as we normally have it. And that's causing us to have to stop and reflect and get maybe a little bit, not ungrounded, but a little bit up into our higher mind and a little bit more reflective on what it is and how it is we need to go about getting it on a spiritual trip, right? And learn to trust that instead of the more material, earth-based kind of magic that we use as Taurus to create our world, okay? Now, this last card is what I call the potential outcomes. This is basically a potential outcome for the month of November. If nothing major changes, barring that all these cards stay the same, we can kind of sort of know that this card will soon come down the pipe and come to pass in the month of November as the outcome. But it's not set in stone, so if this is something that's extremely negative or something we don't want to see or have happen, we have the power of free will and choice to make changes and use this card right now as a sort of a warning to make choices and changes to steer ourselves clear from this outcome. So let's see what this is. So this is the 10 of crystals, and this is delusion. To me, this is sort of, tens represent sort of the completion of cycles. Crystals is an air symbol, and it has to do with, you know, the element of air and the intellect, right? So to me, this is, and when I look at delusion as a card, I feel like this is us outthinking ourselves a little bit in the month of November. I think that this time space feels like a good reflection and sort of almost like a disconnect and sort of which I don't think Taurians allow themselves to do very often, right? Is to like just truly disconnect and sort of feel the energy and go, okay, where do I want to be next? What do I want to do next? It's more about having the plan, executing the plan, and getting it done. This is sort of this unknown. Here, to me, I feel like some of you that are unclear or unable to not, now this is going to not make a lot of sense, but I'm going to say it to you this way. For those of you that are unable to not act, right? If you're not able to sort of kind of check out and give yourself the time to really reflect and let go of some of these situations that are no longer giving to you, and trust that it will be okay, that you can get there, that you can find your way there. You're going to possibly overthink it. You're going to possibly sort of force yourself into this place of having to create some sort of goal that might be not really the goal that you want. It might be a continuation of this similar situation where it feels like, the balance in your life feels tenuous, or that you're struggling to keep it together. To me, this feels like we're setting our goals further away than we need to, or giving ourselves uh, more of a struggle than we need to. If we lean into it, I really feel like with this trust card and this time space card, if we lean into it, if we breathe deep and we take a breath and really look at things as they are, we may find that we have the capability and the strength to change those things, but we have to have that faith and that trust that we can sort of go about doing that from a more, how do I want to say this, like spiritually based place, or not in our usual, like the phrase that's going on in my head for you guys, because I know that some of you are going to be working more spiritually than others, but it's like not in our normal pattern of doing things is what I'm hearing. Okay, there's this opportunity here where we have to start thinking more outside of the box. That's what this time space is, and that's what this trust is trusting that and going about like meeting our goals or figuring out what our new goals are, thinking outside of the box and not going about it in our normal way that we would, right? But this 10 of crystals says that doing that may cause some of us stress. We might overthink it. We might set our goals a little bit too far away from ourselves in the month of November if we get too much caught up in our head and, oh, well, this is not how I normally do things, and this is, it's that kind of a feeling for me. So I would let go of that in the month of November. Be mindful of your thoughts and where your head is taking you. Don't let it overtake you. Don't let worry or delusion overtake you. Trust yourself. Trust your spirit guides. Trust your own spiritual knowledge. Be mindful of, a very strong, powerful, feminine presence that might have a lot of advice for you that may not actually work. That might also be causing you to overthink things throughout the month. Really kind of, to be honest, I want to say if you could check out for the month of November. But knowing Taurians, you guys aren't really checkout kind of people. You're very dedicated. So I feel like find the moments where you can get peace and reflect and sort things out for yourself, within yourself, and then trust that. Let yourself find that spiritual trust that you need so that you can move forward in those discoveries. Okay, that is your predictive Tarotscope for the month of November 2019. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, a share, a comment. If you want to book a private reading with me, I am available. All the information is in the description of the video. And follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333. And please tell your friends about the channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. I love you, my Taurians. You are sweet, sexy, lovable, loyal people. Remember that during the month of November. You guys got this. You can totally do this. No problem. Just don't overthink it. Bye-bye.